What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here and welcome to the top 5 farming attacks for August 2018. And I do apologize for not getting this out sooner. We are already almost a week into September. So if you want to be featured in the September edition, make sure to join my Discord and submit in the appropriate channel. Please try and make it as high a quality as possible, guys. We do have numerous attacks with over 1 million gold in this episode, so make sure to stick around to see them very impressive farming attacks. First of all, here we have one of my subscribers who's been supportive of the channel for quite some time, Braveheart, coming in at the brand new Town Hall 12, and he's hitting this one with the bowlers. He does have the giants and peckers there as well, and he is coming in with a queen walk from the north of the base, over 500,000 golden elixir, and being right up there in Legend League. That is topped off with that fantastic loot bonus, but that will not be included in these farming episodes. It will purely be the loot available, which will get you into the top 5, and that's all what counts, guys. How much loot you get available. So the person in number 1, unlike the war attacks where it's a little bit subjective and I take the best one, the farming, it is literally who gets the most golden elixir put together. So as Braveheart comes in here, he's already cracked the core of the base, he's in there with them bowlers, and being that old-fashioned ring style meta, he's really cracked it, and he's going to get the 3-star from this point. He has the queen coming down the bottom of the base with them peckers. The bowler they've just wrecked the core. One of the peckers there with it, a nice jump spell to get out of the other side of the base, and obviously the healers merging up to the giants at the top provided a nice kill squad for the northern bowlers to take down that section of the base, and it's not even close getting down to this. Obviously farming attacks, we've already pretty much got all of the loot. Doesn't matter about getting the 100%, but obviously, you know, being war guys, we want them 3 stars. We're still going to hunt for them, and you really want to be trying to get that 70% at least, so that you get your maximum loot bonus. But well done to Braveheart for making it into the farming edition, the top 5 farming attacks submitted by the community to me for August 2018. And like I said, this is a little bit of a fun series where you guys get to submit your attacks. You can see them featured on my channel, and I'll obviously commentate over the top ones, and each month we will try and do this right the way through. Moving on to the next one, Dark Prince here at Town Hall 12. It is a little bit of an under-leveled base, so he is going to crush it and take all of that golden elixir, especially the elixir, nearly 900,000. Not quite in Legends League, so he doesn't get that bonus, but remember the top 5 will all be featured from the golden elixir that is present. Now, one thing I always say, no matter what the base, try not to underestimate it. I've certainly had my fair share of fails from looking at a base and thinking, it'll be easy, I'll just steamroll it, and I haven't really thoroughly thought the plan through. And as you can see, Dark Prince here, not going to be digressing from his plan. He has that queen walk coming in, taking down some very high damage buildings here, and he actually has a Jibarch style strategy with them goblins mixed in to really target the storages per se. But the queen is going to get huge value here, and especially with them pink walls, he's really not got too much to worry about. She's going to get right the way through, get that single target inferno, and continue to do her job before merging in the rest of the troops. Now, I like how he's bringing the odd troops on the outside of the base just to try and focus the fire of the queen. I'd like to have seen a few more of that. You can see how the queen now goes across to the lab, gets a little bit distracted. Had we have brought the troops in sooner from the north of the base, we could have probably kept the queen directed into the base itself. But that is where he now comes in from the other side of the base. He still has in his entire army to ransack the rest of the base here, because the queen in herself, because it's not an upgraded base, was able to take out that entire left hand side. So now we have that Barch style strategy coming through, picking off the defenses on the outside, and then the goblins will come and target the storages whilst the queen finishes up. Now remember, you don't have to get all of the loot, all of the buildings and all of the stars, sorry, the loot is what you want to get. You're farming, but you don't have to get the 3 stars. So really you can target the loot. If that is a collector raid, then you're really just going for the outside collectors. But obviously the higher you get up, you want to get the storages. If you get the 3 stars, you know you're getting everything. And in this case, plenty of goblins to come in and finish the job. The queen is still standing, and really nothing else is going to matter. Able to swag 3 rage spells as well. Obviously when you come up against bases like this, you don't want to use all them spells if you don't need to. Didn't even need to worry about finishing off the raid. Got all the loot, leaving it there. Moving on to number 3, and we're already at that margin where we have 1 million loot. This is TT of Elite Gaming. TT, my man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and the war schedule to send me these farming attacks. I know we weren't farming per se, but in they come. With that, again, very simple strategy. There's many different farming strategies. I have told a few people recently, just kind of talking about YouTube, how I started well before wars were a thing. And I was a farmer. I used to farm my way right the way through because that's what the game was about. It was either farming or trophy pushing. There wasn't a lot of other avenues. So I purely used to farm, and really it is about using the most efficient strategy in my opinion. And as you can see, TT doesn't have the strongest troops here. He's got some giants to try and tank. Yes, he's got his heroes, but he's going to wreck this Town Hall 12 base and get all of that loot. Just look at it. He already has pretty much that 1 million gold in the bag, and TT is in Titan League as well, so this was a very, very profitable raid for him. Getting down to the end of it, obviously, the stronger the base, the harder it's going to be to use them Barch style strategies, but obviously you can still do it depending on the layout, depending on how strong the defenses are, etc, etc. TT is going to get pretty much all of it here, gets the gold down, that's in the bag, and fast forwarding a little bit through the end of it here. That's one thing that I can't, or maybe next edition I'll edit these replays myself, but it depends on what gets sent in through Discord. So like I said, if you want to, make sure to submit. There's many free recording apps that record your screen nowadays that you can submit your attacks with. Please try and keep them as high a quality as possible for the people watching. On to attack number 2. Again, over 1 million loot. Almost 1 million in elixir as well. And we're coming in with the straight up lava Lunion with them minions at the back. Always used to do this with farming, even trophy pushing. I used to use this strategy, but there's not too much thought. You can use them lava hounds to tank as the balloons push forward, and you've kind of got that line of minions, and that's very important with farming to ensure that you get that loot. Sometimes, as long as you know you don't want to have a storage that you've cleared out the defenses and you've got nothing to actually take the loot. So them minions are very important. Just look how now they can come through, they can take that loot. I mean, irrespective, this base is crushed. So many balloons left over, they'd have been able to get that loot. Very, very effective, and so much going into the pocket of this attacker. 1 million gold, very short of the 1 million elixir. I'm very much looking forward to how big the loot raids can get as we move through this. Remember, I'm going to do this every single month, so long as you guys are enjoying it. If it kind of fades out, it fades out, but I think it's kind of fun. You guys can get your attacks featured and battle to be number 1, and today it is Mad Dog of Peter, $17. Awesome! He is getting the number 1 spot. 1,050,000 gold and pretty much a million elixir as well. What a loot raid. Let me know in the comments if you're still here for this number 1 raid, but more importantly, have you got a raid with more than 1 million gold and more than 1 million elixir? Smash that like button if you can, and in the future, if you get that, submit it to my Discord. You might be number 1 for that month farming. You can see Mad Dog not taking any chances here, has them wizards flying through in order to help from that wall wrecker. The miners are then pressing through. The base in itself isn't that upgraded, but he is only a Town Hall 10, so he has the Queen Walk nicely coming around the top of the base, and the heal spells can be used for the miners in themselves as they press through, get down them dangerous defenses, and get him all of that loot. Man, I have had some raids where there's been a lot of loot, I haven't gotten all of it, and it's really devastating when you don't quite get all of it. As you can see, Matt Dog on this one persisting. One of them very nice raids where you can see the collectors, look at them elixir collectors and them gold collectors for that matter. There is a lot of gold mines, sorry. There's a lot of loot there, but also the storages are quite full. So that in itself is where that combination gets you so much loot. And don't forget guys, when you are farming, the Town Hall, now I mean this was changed ages ago, but for any of you OG clashers, Town Hall, remember, acts as a storage. There will be a lot of loot inside that as well. So Matt Dog, thank you so much for submitting. If you're watching this, make sure to comment down below, and well done for achieving the #1 spot for the top 5 farming raids of August 2018. We already have submissions for the September edition on the Discord. Remember, make sure to join, make sure to submit your attacks, but that wraps it up for this one. I've been your host, Judo Sloth. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments, but until next time guys, peace out. I hope you have enjoyed this one.